When brands are starting with native ads, one very common question is how long does it need until I see real results, and how long does it need until the campaign is ready to scale? In this video, we will talk exactly about this, and I will share with you a strategy to test different campaigns, to test different approaches with native advertising traffic sources like Taboola and Outbrain, that you will get a completely transparent overview to see why native ads might take a little bit longer than, for example, Facebook ads or Instagram ads or something like that. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of Purple Black, a native advertising only agency. So what we're doing on a daily basis is we run profitable native advertising campaigns with traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo Gemini, and many more. And as already mentioned at the beginning, a very common question is how long does it take until I see real results? And first of all, it's important to understand when you are already familiar with Facebook ads, with Google ads, with TikTok ads, then it's important to see native ads is a completely different beast. So native ads is also working differently, because when you start with Facebook ads, you can start on a very low level. So that means you just start with, let's say, $80 per day or $50 per day, whatever, to test a few things. I'll play a little bit with the creatives, play a little bit with the targeting, see if you want to have a targeting or a broad option, that kind of stuff. But long story short, you will usually see results very fast. And what happens then? When you see results very fast and it's profitable for you, very profitable, for example, what happens? You want to spend more money. And as soon as you spend more money, and by the way, we are not talking here about $100 or so daily. I mean, when you really want to spend 5 or 10K per day profitable, then you will see Facebook campaigns or the Facebook ad CPA will explode. The campaign will go into the wrong direction from your perspective. So what happens? You increase the spend, but also the CPA will explode in a negative level. But in the very beginning, for example, on Facebook, you have low budget, low CPA, everything seems fine. And as soon as you want to add more money here, significantly more money, then everything is going a little bit out of control. And native advertising is working differently. But let me show you how it's working. So on Facebook, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually you need just a few test campaigns to see what's working, what's not working. And as soon as you create a test campaign, after 3 or 5 days, you usually see it's working, or this is unfortunately not working, and create a new test campaign. So you can work like in sprints, like create every week new campaigns and test them out. But native is working differently, and let me explain you how we're working here when we set up a new client. So first of all, we have different angles, like angle 1, angle 2, and the angle is nothing more than a different perspective of a product. Let's say you have a product to lose weight, just in general. Let's say it's a pill to lose weight. And the obvious approach here would be, don't take me by the word now, but just in general, you're fat, take this pill. So that would be the obvious approach. But usually these obvious approaches are not working very good. Just sometimes, but not always. So therefore it's important to use different frames. Like, for example, the angle 1 could be belly fat. The angle 2 could be don't lose weight, but hold your weight. Because after you lose weight, it's important not to have the JoJo effect and to hold the weight. Like, hold weight. And sorry for my bad writing. And angle 3 could be something completely else. Angle 3 could be the general approach. You're fat, you want to lose weight fast. Lose weight fast. So that could be the 3 angles here in general. And usually we have 3 to 5 angles for every new setup when we set up a campaign or a new brand. And this is always just for one product. So you're not able to mix those angles or something like that with the different products. And in general, here it's now important to create also for these different angles, different advertorials, different landing pages. So usually for every angle, at least we are testing like this at Purple Black. And by the way, this here, what I show you is a very narrowed down approach, because as mentioned before, usually we're testing 5 or so, 5 different approaches, but here for timing reasons I just drop it down to 3. So however, We're testing here then different advertorials. Like, for example, let me just change the color. Advertorial 1, advertorial 2, advertorial 3, and I see I'm very bad at drawing especially. Advertorial 4, advertorial 5. So let's say you have here 5 advertorials, and here we have the same, like 5 different advertorials, 1, 2, 5, and here we have the same. So here you see 15, 1, 2, 5. You see we have 15 advertorials in general, which is a lot, to be honest, because testing is expensive and you have to test here everything. You have to test everything against each other. So you have to test the different approaches against each other, but you also have the different advertorials against each other. So that means you see already we have to test a lot in the very beginning. And furthermore, you also have different ads, of course, because for every approach you have at least 3 headlines and 3 images, which are 9 ads. And you have the same here and the same here. So that means you also have 24, I'm bad in calculating in my head, I hope it's 24. So you have 24, at least 24 ads which you have to test against each other. And again, you're testing everything against each other. So you're testing, for example, let me just switch the color, advertorial 1 with headline 1 and advertorial 1 with image 3 and that kind of stuff. So again, everything is against each other. And furthermore, on the native traffic source, you have tons of different sites. So when these are your sites, you have hundreds of sites. And for example, you're spending a bit here. Let's say this is not profitable, this is not profitable, this is not profitable. And let's say this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. So that's the way how you test it. But unfortunately, to find out what's profitable and what's not profitable, that means you have to spend money. So you have to spend money here, you have to spend money here, you have to spend money here. And that's, of course, not profitable money here, because testing in general, or at least we at Public Black, try to make the testing as fast and as effective as possible without spending any worthless money. So we are buying here more or less the data to see what's working, what's not working, to squeeze out and to scale up the campaigns fast. So just in general, that you have a slightly overview why testing on native is working differently and why it's more expensive than other traffic sources. Because there is no real algorithm in the background. On Facebook, for example, a lot of things are directly related to the creative. So Facebook currently nowadays is more a creative game. And native ads is also a creative game, but it's also a technical game, it's also a headline game, it's also an advertorial game, it's also an offer game. So it's way, way more than just creative. And sorry for all Facebook marketers, I know it's not just creatives, but you know, I think you get the point. The majority of success for Facebook ads nowadays is the creative, and for native you have to work on many things more, because the algorithms also from Taboola and Outbrain are way, way, way not so smart than the algorithms from Facebook or Google. They're way smarter. So you see already you have to test a lot, and again, testing is expensive. So you start in general with native ads very, very broad and narrow it down like a funnel. Narrow it down until you have the point where you make a lot of money. And it could be that you will see this approach here is working best with the advertorial 2 and with this combination of headline, like headline 1 and image 3. So it could be that this is the end result, and at this moment you're able to scale. And of course, the more you test, the more data you have, but it's also more expensive. And usually we need for this process around about 6 to 8 weeks to test everything. So a maximum we need up to 3 months until we really are able to scale the campaign profitable to the moon. And that's a time where you have to be aware. So that means you need money for this time, of course, and you need a bit patience, because you don't see the results directly. So for example, when you're sitting in front of a in front of a dashboard from Taboola, Outbrain, just clicking F5, F5, F5 for waiting to see the first results. That's not the way how it's working, because some days would be profitable or will be profitable in the testing process already, but some days will be still very unprofitable in the testing time. So therefore, it's important to be aware and to understand that testing is important, but testing is also part of the process. So we are not able to skip the line here. And also when you already have some testing results from different traffic sources, like for example, Facebook, and we saw it very, very often, that people are coming and say, hey, I already know what's working on Facebook. So why do we need this setup? Why do we have to test everything against each other? And it's very simple to understand this, because the people, the audience is different on Facebook than on native. Of course, sometimes, let's say this is the Facebook audience and this is the native audience. Of course, sometimes we have here an overlap. But in general, you see the majority of people are differently. And therefore, what's working on Facebook is not working automatically on native and vice versa. So also when you have a winning approach on Facebook, we can give it a try, but we definitely need to prepare all the other approaches, all the other angles here to really squeeze out the maximum here and to be able to scale up at the maximum of 3 months. And the maximum of 3 months is just a general time period. So sometimes it's faster. Sometimes we already saw clients where we create this kind of structure here, and where we saw directly after 2 weeks, whoa, this approach here is exploding in a positive way, and we're all focusing now here on this approach. So we already saw this, but in general, you have to be prepared to plan a little bit more time and a little bit more money than, for example, than you need on other traffic sources. So in a nutshell, you have to be, and I know it's very hard for me also, but you have to be patient a little bit. You have to be patient because it's definitely worth it to wait here, make a very structured and clear testing before you will be able to scale to the moon. Because the good news here is, as soon as you find the sweet spot, you are able to just scale the campaigns in a very profitable and a very, very fast way. Of course, we will continue testing, but at least you're profitable then. The campaign, you will see the campaigns are every day in the green area, and you're just earning money while testing and while gathering more and more data. So that's native ads in a nutshell, especially the testing process here. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course, when you subscribe to my channel to get updated when I upload a new video here on YouTube about native ads. Have a good one. See you next time.